Okay, so I know there's nobody here, but I'm going to start prepping this little guy and telling whoever's watching post stream, as that I know there might be one or two of you that turn up, but I want to get on with it. So this is a little creature for one of the commission tier rewards on the Kickstarter. They wanted a squidgy thing with a prop, so I've chosen a plant pot. So what I do is I turn this to the light so I can see where the outline of the sketch is, just so I know that I'm getting the whole thing covered with the graphite. So I now have a vague area. And I get myself some, what I normally do, I've got this little sharpener here, which I use to sharpen this pencil, and it's usually filled with graphite, and I can just do that. Oh yeah, there's still a bit in there actually. So I probably might need that. So what I'll do is I'll get my good old kitchen towel, although I say good old, this blue paper is awful stuff. We've stopped using it now because we kind of thought it was saving money because it's cheaper than normal kitchen towel, but it breaks apart really easily, so it's not brilliant. It's fine for using in the studio, especially for jobs like this and dabbing up paint or water. So actually I think that tiny amount of graphite is going to do the job. So I'm not going to need this jar of it here. Oops, I'll have my fingers next, that's not good. It's got lovely and warm again here. We've had a bit of a chilly, maybe nearly 10 days, not quite 10 days, after having a very late start to the spring / summer, and yeah, it's now very toasty in this room again, but I'd rather it be toasty than freezing cold, I think. So that's covered it well. I'm just using these are bits of tissue I've used already for dabbing things up, so I always reuse stuff if I can. Then I'm gonna get another one of these and just take the excess off. Not that much, I mean it's not taking much off, but it's just so it doesn't immediately transfer all that graphite to the paper. I say paper, it's board. So that's that. Then put my protective gloves on so that I don't get my greasy mitts on the precious board, because obviously board is a lot more expensive, well, a bit more expensive depending on the paper you use than paper. As most of you who follow me already know, I like board because I use a lot of water, and yeah, it allows me to use lots of water and not ruin things. Do sometimes still ruin it, obviously, but okay, so that's him set up. And then I get my little blue pencil, which is getting shorter and shorter, and then I'm going to transfer it just make sure I've got, yeah, I'm just going to go over the drawing. I don't have to press very hard really, and I use a different colour, which I say every time I do this on video, but I use different colours so that I can see where I've drawn basically, because if I do it with pencil I'm not going to know where I've been. Well, I would if I'd looked carefully, but This makes it much easier. There's lots of squidgy bits. I do like doing the squidgy ones. It's very satisfying. Although I've just done a little cyclops. I'll show you actually. I was not sure whether to show you, but this little guy, we watched Jason and the Argonauts last night. No, it's not Jason and the Argonauts, it has a cyclops in. We watched Jason and the Argonauts last night, but the night before we watched Sinbad, seventh voyage of Sinbad, which has the cyclops in. So I thought I'd do a cute little cyclops for the monster book. I'm not crazy about how flat his face looks, but I think he's very cute. So that's the little cyclops. And let's just carry on with the squidgy bits. I'm not sure what colour to make this guy. I haven't even thought, which is not particularly helpful because I need to think real fast. So I'm not umming and erring in front of you guys. Well, I say you guys, but I don't think there's anybody watching. I think it says here that there's 2 watching, but I think that that is me on my iPad and me on my computer where it's running from. So I'm talking to myself, but that's okay. Just gotta do the old avoiding tax thing. Well, it's not avoiding tax, it's the old loophole. That's why I'm doing the lives, as you know. I know most of you aren't that fussed about the lives, although I actually quite enjoy doing them now, I think. It's very difficult to paint and talk at the same time though. I mean, I'm sure that's just practice, but add a little bit there. Yeah, whilst it's practice, it's not something I would want to do on a regular basis. Like, I know some people do Twitch live streams every week. I just don't think I'd be able to do that. I used to do it when I was painting digitally a lot because it was so easy to set up and you didn't have to worry about lighting or anything. It was just showing the screen. But there we go, don't do that anymore, so it's this or nothing. Now I want it to look like he's got a little plant. He's taken the place of the plant, not that he's got leaves growing out of his head, so hopefully when this is painted it'll give that impression. And I hope that the person that's commissioned this enjoys him. I think he's pretty cute. I think I'd be pretty pleased with getting him. So let's check that that's transferred. Oh, I didn't say, I always sellotape this down so that I can see if I've painted it all in or not, or drawn it all in, because, and also to stop it moving around, because if it moves slightly when I'm tracing, then obviously it's not going to look right. So that is that, and now I can start painting him. So put that to the side, have a little thing from, so that's the sketch from the Cyclops, and I just pile them on top of each other when I've done them, so I'm not getting the dirty backs on my table or anything. There's a bit of oh, actually it's not. I thought there was graphite around on there, but there isn't. It's okay. So before I start, I'm going to get a little bit of paper to my right, and yes, it's completely bonkers that I have my paints on my left and not on my right, but I started doing that and now it's habit, so it's going to be very difficult to break. So what colours? I know what colour that's going to be, but what colour is he going to be? What's the best colour? What are the best colours that contrast well with orange? I think purple is quite a good one with orange, so I think I'm going to make up some kind of purple colour for him. Have I had too many purple ones? I don't think I've had any, like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna do it purple. Just gonna do mineral violet and what's the other one called? Quadricone, or what's it called? Cabazole violet. I'll do a mixture of those two. Cabazole's a bit more blue and mineral violet's a little bit more, got a bit more red in it, I suppose. I'm not sure about that now. Maybe make it a bit pinker. Get some lighter purples in there, maybe. Sorry, I know you guys aren't seeing this bit. Okay, so I'm going to just lay the water down on this guy. So I haven't got completely clean water since he's going to be purple. But that doesn't matter. It actually helps me see where I've painted as well. I mean, he's not going to be purple all the way to the ends of his little tootsies. If they are tootsies, I don't think so. His little tentacles, they're not really tentacles either. So he's already, just from the book, it's so amazing the different pigments, how they sit in the water as well. So I've got I'm just taking the water out of the glass that I've mixed, or at least washed the brush in, and it's this purple. Actually, I think on the screen it doesn't look very purple to you, but it's quite purple. Very pale, but it's still purple. So I have to work quite quickly because it's so much warmer in here. Thankfully it's not kind of as warm as it does get in here sometimes, because it's only just started warming up again. Sometimes it's about 30 degrees in here, which is not very nice. and we do not have air conditioning because it is very unusual for it to be that hot, and it doesn't normally last that long. Sometimes you'll get like a week of weather in that kind of temperature range, but it's just super unusual. Right, so fully wetted up, and I'm going to get the old purple out. So the form should hopefully start appearing to you now that I've started adding the paint. A little bit on this side. It's already drying very quickly. All I want to do is get the main base colour down, and then I can just add to that when it's dry, either with the smooshing brush or doing another wash. And I think I might try and make the top part a little bit pink. Is that too pink? Not sure. Thing is, this will dry. Oh, I've got splots of paint on the paper. I think I'll be able to grab those in a minute. Let's just pull this pinkness around a bit down here. Go, and then I'm going to get a clean brush, cover it in water, dab those bits. Ah, that was very careless. I nearly lost this bit up here, and now I've gone and bodged it up with a water brush. Silly. Okay. So it's a little bit pink at the top. And then I'll get to the end again. This one, because it's a small area, I'm not going to wet the area first because it's not going to dry that quick. I was going to talk about plans I've got, but I realised that it's probably pointless and that I should just write it in the posts, because I think most of you won't be watching this, so that will be assuming people watching it, and I think that's a bad idea, and it means you'll miss out on stuff that I'm rambling on about. It's probably just as well. Okay, so a bit kind of like a little Jabba the Hutt type thing, isn't it? Right, let's get that dry. So much fluff gets stuck on these things. It's really annoying. When I go to scan them, it's often covered in little tiny little bits of fluff. I don't know where it comes from. Right, so let's go to the... I'm going to mix some flower pot. Use Galaxy Brown and a little bit of burnt umber, a little bit of oh no, that's the wrong colour. A little bit of, oh, what red is that? I'm just mixing some reds and some oranges. And then I'm just gonna wet the pot. I definitely want lots of nice texture on the pot. Take my glasses off. Got to that stage where I have to take my glasses off to do close-up work. I am short-sighted, so I've needed glasses since like my mid-teens for looking at the blackboard at school, driving, cinema, that kind of thing. Long distance stuff, because I can only see short distance. And now, because I'm getting older and my eyes are getting crap, I'm fine with short distance like this, but I didn't used to have to take my glasses off. My eyes used to be able to sort of be okay with me just leaving them on, but my prescription has changed recently, so they're a bit stronger. They're not particularly strong anyway, but I did notice having much better eyesight with them in for long distance, which is kind of fun. But yeah, it's very annoying, things like that, having to take my glasses off all the time. And it also means that I can't wear contact lenses because I'd have the same issue. Because I wouldn't be able to do this with my contacts in. Okay. Bit more water all around here. Starting to get a bit dry. I think I've done the wrong thing here with the tail. I'm not sure, but I think I'll be able to fix it if I need to. So now I'm just gonna get that orange in. Orange and purple. It looks good together. So I was going to do the Everyday Original piece on here today, but I didn't have enough time to prepare. I've got an idea of what I want to do. I think I'm going to do another magical horse. Yeah, because so next one's 1st of July, and the next one after that will be 1st of September, so actually it makes sense to do a magical horse, because then when I post on 1st of September, I can then say, hey guys, I've got a Kickstarter. I'm going to try, I don't know what day the 1st of September is, but if it happens to be a Tuesday, then that's when I'm going to be launching. I have no idea what day it's going to be, but hey, don't really matter. But if it hasn't launched when I do my everyday original in September, then I'll still say, hey, this is happening. If you like magical horses, look at this. It's just constant having to think of, oh, how am I going to let people know about this? How are they, are they bored yet? It's so difficult, and it's so boring. I just wish I didn't have to do it. I wish somebody else could do all that, because it is tiresome. A bit of darker colour up there. And then get a bit of a dry on, I think. I think I might put a little bit of green in there. But what kind of green? Just going to put a little bit of green because it's a slightly mouldy pot. Not mouldy, but it's an old pot, so a little bit of raw umber as well, which will look a bit green, but isn't. Okay, so I think that's the best I can do on that bit. Just grab these edges a little bit, they're a bit rough. Okay. I'm gonna just give him a little bit of a smile. So, I mean, this will be painted over again and again, but soften out that a little bit. Now let's get the earth bits done. So I'm going to use some raw umber, which is a cool brown, a little bit of Van Dyke brown, which is also cool but much darker. It's like almost a black, bit of burnt umber, and hopefully we'll have a vaguely earthy tone, and we can just chuck that on and then we can build on that. Once the base is on. Now, if anyone's watching the recording, since nobody has shown up, I am going to stop this in a minute. Yeah, because I have hormone brain, and the painting and speaking at the same time is proving quite challenging. So yeah, need I say more? I mean, unless of course you guys are happy to just watch me paint and I can just occasionally say things. Hoping this looks like mud. Not mud, but you know, compost. I mean, it won't do right away, especially that dot there, that doesn't look like it. Just put a bit of texture up there, a bit of texture down there as well. I think I might just make that go all the way there to that gap. One more little bit on the side, or a couple of bits. I hope it doesn't look like he's done a poo. I think that the flower pot might make it obvious that it's not poo. At least I hope so. Right, well, since, I mean, I did choose a random time to do this because I know that if I do it later, it's more likely there's going to be more of you. But when I've done the little poll in the past, there's usually only one or sometimes two people that say what time they prefer, so I'm assuming, and you must tell me otherwise if you're listening to this and you want to see more, you must tell me in the comments under the, not this video on YouTube, but on Mysterious Corner. please let me know. And I will do longer ones. Yeah. For today, because I have a lot to do, I'm going to continue this not live. So I hope anyone that's watching recorded, I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you very much for supporting me, and I will see you next month.